So the next concept we have to discuss is that is called eddy currents, which is very important in the perspective of your exam, because it is most of the time it is asked for 2 or 3 marks, and you can also expect some applications of eddy currents, which is very important because most of the time it is asked in your exam. So let's know what is the concept of eddy currents. So this is our concept. So now we are moving into the concept of eddy currents. Eddies. Eddies means it is something like swirling in a water. Swirling means you can. Okay, let me explain you. Eddy currents. Eddy means it is a swirling in a water. The water will flow like this. See, that is called as a eddy. And this concept was discussed by a scientist called Foucault. His name is Foucault. He actually gave the concept of eddy currents. Till here, till this class, till this concept, we have discussed about the induction of the current in any conductor. Almost the structures we have taken is a circular one. And also we have discussed about the rectangular. I hope you understood. I am repeating that. Till here we discussed about the induction of current in a circular conductors as well in a rectangular. Then whether the induction happens in any other kind of dimensions of a body, whether we can see whether the induction can happen in one piece of a material. Yeah, that is taught by scientist Foucault. So that is why he gave the concept of eddy currents. So what he did is he see the effect of or the induction of current in a bulk piece of a material, very big in size. So such materials are a bulk material. When it is subjected to a changing magnetic field, whether any current will induce in that bulk piece of a material. So that is what he wanted to see in his studies. So in order to explain this, let us draw a diagram here. There are 2 magnets. This is the south pole. Here we are keeping north pole. So the magnetic field lines of a bar magnet from which will go from north to south. The field lines will be like this. Now we are hanging a bulk piece of material. We are hanging a metallic plate. Let's hang a metallic plate over here. This is a metallic plate. Okay. After swinging, it will oscillate like this. It has to oscillate between the north and south pole of these magnets. So this is set up by Foucault. So after swinging, it will acquire this position. This metal piece acquire this position. I hope you are very clear about this picture. See now. Initially, this metal piece at this position. Okay, you already learned about some positions in simple harmonic motions. Best example of simple harmonic motion is the motion of pendulum. And when the pendulum is at rest, if it is not oscillating, then the position of the alignment of that pendulum is called as a mean position, and it can move, it can oscillate to some maximum distances away from that mean position, and those are called as extreme positions. So this is one extreme position. Now we have hold this metal in the extreme position, and we leave this this metal piece to oscillate in between these two magnets. Then let's see what's happening there. See, what Foucault observed is when a bulk piece of material is oscillated or swinged between the two magnets, he observed the current induced in this metal. Why current is inducing there? Because it will oscillate like this. So as soon as it oscillates, the changing magnetic field associated with this material changes. It keep on changing because it is oscillating. So that is why, because of changing magnetic field which is linked with this metal, was inducing a current in that. Then what was the direction of current in that? See. Okay. Then when he was taken to this position, what happening is current was flowing in anti-clockwise direction. So if the current is flowing in anti-clockwise direction, that indicates us that the magnetic moment which has north pole over there. We have already discussed about this concept. If the current is flowing in anti-clockwise direction, that will act like a north pole. So now see here, this north pole is opposing the north pole of the another, right? Again, it will come back here. As soon as it comes back to this extreme position, the direction of current will flow in a clockwise direction. Okay? So you are looking at this diagram from one side. Okay, it is an observation point is very important here. If you are observing from the other side of this, from the back of this, you can see the directions which is inverse to this, which is reverse to this. I mean, when this metal is at this extreme point, you can see clockwise direction of current, and if the metal piece is here, then you can see an anti-clockwise direction of current. When you view from the back side of this magnet. But if you look at this figure from this side, on the observer side, then if it is at this extreme position, current will flow in an anti-clockwise direction, which means that will have a north pole, which will repulse. That is why it will move like this. Once you come back here, the current will flow in a clockwise direction, which becomes south pole. Again, it will attract. Again, once you come back here, again the direction of current changes. Again, it will repel. That's why it will continuously oscillate. But there is a damping. Damping means which is a decreasing one. Why there is a damping? Because since there is a flow of current in this, that will induce an EMF, changing magnetic field with this induces an EMF. Because of that, current will flow. As a current flow in any conductor, that will induces a magnetic field. You already know it. Magnetic field will be induced. So the magnetic field produced in this material because of this current, and the magnetic field of these two magnets will oppose each other. They will apply the repulsive force. That is why after oscillating for a certain period of time, and it will come to rest. It will halt. So you should know that there is a damping. So that metal will oscillate for some time and it will come to rest. Then how to reduce this? See here, this is and whatever the current is generated here, that is known as eddy currents. So eddy current means when a bulk piece of a material is subjected to a changing magnetic flux, then the current induced in that material is called as eddy currents. Very simple. Very simple. When the bulk piece of material is subjected to changing magnetic flux, then the current induced in this material is known as eddy. Let me write the definition. When bulk piece of material subjected to changing magnetic flux, then induced current is called eddy current. Then the induced current is called as an eddy current. Then whether we have to think whether this eddy currents have any advantages, whether it have any disadvantages. So that is what we have to see here. For example, see look at the diagram. I said that change in magnetic flux linked with the metal induces eddy current. Because of that flow of current in any conductor, current flow in this metal, that metal will be heated up because of the flow of charges, because of the current. There is a heat produced in that metal, so that will heat it up, and once it is heated, whatever the energy produced there will be wasted. It will be liberated as energy. Then how to reduce that induction of this eddy currents? You want to reduce the heat. If you want to reduce the liberation of heat, if you want to suppress the formation of heat in the material, then what you have to do is we have to make some holes in the materials. We can cut the materials. We can we have to make the area should less. See how to do this? By making holes like this or by cutting like this. We can reducing the heating effect. So this can be done. So once you cut like this, or once you make some holes in that metal, then the area of that metal will be decreased. So if the area is decreased, then the current produced in that material also decreases. Eddy current induced in that material also decreases. If the eddy current decreases, then the heat generated in that material will also decrease. So the heat generation in the material can be reduced by making holes or cuts in a metal piece. So this is about the concept of this eddy currents. So these are some disadvantages. It will heat it up, and in order to reduce that heat, we should do some other arrangements. So this way, we can suppress the formation of heat with the such materials. Then what are let us see what are the advantages of this eddy currents? Is there any advantages? Yes, there are a lot of advantages in the eddy currents. So I can list out 4, and which is very, very important for your exam. Applications of eddy currents. So first one is magnetic braking in trains. Magnetic braking in trains. Second one is electromagnetic damping, in induction furnace. Fourth one is electric power meters. electric power meters. So these are the very important applications of eddy current. So let's know what are these. Okay, first one is magnetic braking in trains. You know the size of train now, and in order to stop the train, we cannot use a simple braking system. While you are traveling on the while traveling, it move with the greater velocity, and it will have a very greater mass, and it has a greater momentum. So in order to stop the train, we need such a sophisticated braking system. So the braking system used by the train, which uses the concept of this eddy currents. So where in the magnetic braking system of trains, which have some electromagnets, which is linked with the wheel of that trains, and whatever the eddy current produced in the wheel will oppose the magnetic flux, so that train can be stopped. So there is no contact between the electromagnet and the wheel. So that is why there is a smooth braking system in the case of braking of trains. So this is one of the greatest application of eddy currents. This is the first one. So second one is electromagnetic damping. So damping, I told you that which is a decreasing one. Okay, the damping means which is a decreasing one. That is the meaning of that word. So what here is electromagnetic damping. So let me take the example of galvanometer. We already studied about the galvanometer. Already we know about the construction of galvanometer. That the galvanometer has some coil, and there is a magnet. That is about it we have studied while discussing the construction and working of the galvanometer. And in that there is a magnet which is inside the that galvanometer, and whenever the current flowing through the coil in that, the needle will rotate, and because of the current flow, eddy currents will be generated in that magnet which is present inside the galvanometer, and that will apply the counter torque to the movement of that needle, and so that the needle will come to rest, and so that we can read some value over there. So this is the one more application of this eddy currents in electromagnetic damping. Damping means it is decreasing. The needle, because of the flow of current in the coil, the needle will oscillate like this. It has to rest in one reading. So if it has to rest, then there should be an opposite force, so which is provided by that provided by this eddy currents. So that is why it is helpful for electromagnetic damping. Okay, next one is induction furnace. In induction furnace, there is application of eddy currents. Induction furnace, you already know about it. Induction furnace means which is in which will melt the metals. If you want to melt a metal, or if you want to make any alloy, then we need a very high temperature. So in reality, producing such temperature is very difficult. So to do so, we will wind up the bottom of the furnace with the wires, so that what will happen is eddy currents will be generated in that. Because of the eddy current, that will generate a heat. So that is why we can melt a metal, or we can make some alloys. So that is one more application of this eddy currents. So next one is electric power meters. You are very familiar with this. Electric power meters. You might have saw the power meters in your home. So there was a maybe nowadays replaced with the digital one, but some years back we were using the analog kind of power meters. Analog means you can see the numbers, but nowadays digitally the digital meters are already installed in our homes. So in those days, there was a power meters where there was a wheel. Wheel was there. That wheel will continuously rotate. If you have some pumps in your home, you can see that moment. If you have that analog kind of power meters, you can see over there. It consists of one disc which will continuously rotate, because above and below that disc an electromagnet is situated, and through that coil alternating current will flow. So because of the alternating current, the eddy current will be induced in the that disc. Because of that, because of the eddy currents, it will generate a magnetic field, and magnetic field generated in the disc and the magnetic field with the electromagnet will oppose each other. That is why they will rotate. So this is the concept of eddy currents in the electric power. So this is a very important application of eddy currents, and which is very important for your exam.